Hey everybody, Kurt here, aka the Vitruvian Gamer, and today I will be starting a new playthrough. This time I'm doing something bigger. I will be playing Eldritch Horror and its newest expansion, Mountains of Madness. Okay, not sure how this is going to work. First time I do a big game like this, but well, I've already set up most of the game board and of the game pieces right over there. I needed an extra table for it because there are lots of pieces in this game and it needs lots of space, especially with the new board, the new Antarctica board. So I will be doing a complete run through of this game, and join me in the setup where I will choose some random investigators and a random elder. So I will be doing that with some dice. First of all, there are 8 new investigators in the Mountains of Madness expansion. I will be playing with at least one of them. So this is 8-sided die, which I will roll, and starting from the top I will choose the number rolled. So that's a 4, so that's number 1, 2, 3, and number 4 is George Barnaby, the lawyer. Alright, so let's see what he is all about. He's got this special action he can do. Test influence. For each success, another investigator of your choice on any space may discard a dead condition or a detained condition. Okay, can be useful. And once per round you may spend 1 focus to add 1 to the result of 1 die when resolving a test. Okay, nice. He's got 4 health, 8 sanity, and there are his stats. So he's not very strong. He probably won't do the fighting in this game, but he's quite influential and has a decent lore and will as well. Let's see the back of this card. So George Barnaby will be starting in urban India with an investment asset and 1 pocket watch asset. Let's see what he's all about. His history. As a lawyer, George had a long career holding those who deal in human suffering accountable to the law. Recently, George retired and bought a boat to travel the world with his beloved wife Maria. But everything changed one morning in Bombay. George left the boat to get breakfast. On his way back, he passed Westerners dressed in black suits, all wearing silver rings that bore the image of a skull. Inside the boat, he found Maria's body surrounded by occult symbols. His sole reason for living now is the pursuit of justice for Maria. Alright, so he's been through a tough time. So I will be playing him later on his space. Let's see who our next investigator will be. I'm going to shuffle the remaining 7 new ones with the previous edition's 12 ones. And then we'll be doing some more dice rolling. Okay, before choosing my second investigator, I've already put Mr. Barnaby on the board. And here is his character with his assets now. So he has a pocket watch which is a trinket, and he cannot become delayed unless he chooses to. That's always a good thing. And then the investment. Quite an interesting card. It's, as you can see on the symbol there, from the Mountain of Madness expansion. So when we have this happening during the Mythos phase, we will turn over this card and see how well his investment was, and then he will gain a funding condition. We will see that later in the game. So here we have 19 more investigators. I've got this D20 here. It's not very clear, I know. I couldn't find another one. So let's see which one we will choose. If I roll 20, I have to reroll, of course. And we have number 8. There we go. Okay, so number 8, and the other one will be number... Look at that, I wish I was doing some role-playing now. A critical hit, which won't do me anything. And then we roll a 2, so number 2 and number 8. Number 2 is Patrice Holloway, the violinist. And let's see what she can do. So, Patrice, she has this action in which she can spend 1 clue and 1 focus token to improve 1 skill of her choice. And when she closes the gate during an otherworld encounter, she gets 1 clue and 1 focus. Not bad, not bad. 5 health, 7 sanity, so probably also not a fighter, as you can see at the strength of her. She's got pretty good willpower. Okay, what's her story? Well, her story, she lives in Australia, as we can see. Patrice Holloway. Hailed as a musical prodigy from her youth, Patrice has performed for royalty and society's brightest minds all around the world. For years she thought that her consciousness simply drifted as she played, but she's come to believe that an intelligence exists behind her visions. Somehow the notes form a bridge between her own mind and another. The more she grasps what her music exposes her to, the more afraid she becomes. After last night's concert in Sydney, she's finally decided to take action. Alright, let's see, she will start with a banishment spell and 1 clue. Nice, so we have at least 2 characters, 2 investigators from the newest expansion. And then we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One we already know, Mark Harrigan, the soldier, which is good because we needed someone who can fight. So Mark, he can do for an action, he and 1 monster loses 1 health, and he also cannot become delayed, and he cannot gain a detained condition unless he chooses to. Well, that's not really interesting together with George Barnaby, who can help people who are detained, but still is quite good. Being detained and being delayed can be very difficult to handle, but that's nice. He has 8 health and 4 sanity. And look here, this is what we were hoping for 4 strength, so we have someone who can fight. So, Mr. Harrigan will start with a .38 revolver asset and 1 kerosene asset. During the war, Mark witnessed horrors he could not explain, and he wrote of what he saw in letters to his beloved wife Sophie. When Mark returned home, he discovered that Sophie was no longer human. One of the beasts that Mark had seen overseas had taken over her body, killing her in the process. Afterward, Mark's thirst for vengeance led him to Helsinki, where some of these creatures had posed as German soldiers during the Great War. So, we have these 2 men who lost their wives and decided to take some action, and Patrice Holloway, who has these strange visions and is looking for some answers. Very cool. Alright, so these are our 3 investigators for this game. Let me take their assets and put their pieces on the board, and I'll see you later. Okay, here we are with our 3 investigators on the board, ready to kick some ancients' ass. Well, or not, because this is my 16th playthrough of an Eldritch Horror game and I only won once. So, things will probably not go very well, but at least I can give it a try, and maybe with a camera in my hands things will get better. Now, before I will choose my ancient I will be fighting, first of all, with the expansion you have these prelude cards, a deck of them, and this you normally pick one at random before starting the game. For this playthrough I chose one, because there's only one Elder and only one Prelude card which activate the new expansion board. There's already a nice playthrough online in which the Rise of the Elder Things is being battled. So I won't be playing with this Elder this game, so I will remove that one, and I will be playing with the one Prelude that still activates the Antarctica board, and that's the Doomsayer from Antarctica. So let's see what this is all about. An expedition to Antarctica has unveiled a starting secret. Though only one man returned, he spoke of a lost city frozen in the mountains. Most of his rantings were gibberish, but it is clear that he believed that something in this city would bring the downfall of mankind. Given all the horrors you've seen, you hesitate to dismiss these fears outright. You find yourself preparing for a journey to the frozen south. So, what we have to do with this Prelude card is during step 5 of the setup, that's when we determine which ancient one we are going to fight, we set up the Antarctica board, which I already did. Then, after resolving setup, if Rise of the Elder Things is the ancient one, which is not the case, so that we will skip that. And if Rise of the Elder Things is not the ancient one, we set aside all Antarctica adventures and draw a random Antarctica 1 adventure card. And then the lead investigator may move to the space containing the adventure token or to Miskatonic Outpost. Okay, so we've drawn an adventure card, which is something new in this expansion, Mountains of Madness. Discovery of an ancient civilization, Antarctica 1. You hear that another city has been found. It's made of simple domes and towers assembled from stone, and like the others, is hundreds of millions years of old. When this card enters play, place an adventure token on the Amazon. When this adventure is completed, retreat doom by 1, then draw a random Antarctica 2 adventure. As an encounter, an investigator on the Amazon may examine the clay tablets and soapstones he finds among the alien ruins. And then, if he passes the lore test, the relics are inscribed with ancient text that tells of a distant past. Complete this adventure. Okay, so we can do this to retreat Doom and to start the next step in this adventure. So, we have to put the adventure token, which is also something new, in the Amazon, right over there. And we were allowed to put our leader, which is the lawyer. He should be the wisest of them all. We may put him already in the Amazon, and we'll see if he can manage to do this adventure. Alright, next step is the Ancient. So we still have 5 Ancients left, so I'm going to roll this a 6-sided die and see which one we will be dealing with in this adventure. Number 2, that means, oh no, it's Yig. Yig is the ancient one from the first expansion, the small expansion, Forsaken Lore. So this guy works with these poison things, is not the easiest guy. So let's see what it's all about. Yeah. If this happens, spawn 1 cultist monster on the active expedition space. Then if there are 2 or more monsters on that space, advance doom by 1. Okay. When 3 mysteries have been solved, investigators win the game. And when Yig awakens, flip the sheet and resolve the Yig awakens effect on the back. Alright, many know that Yig's punishment for those who harm his progeny is a terrible curse, but few know that long ago the serpent people betrayed Yig and suffered his wrath. Now the survivors return, eager to conquer for their true master. Okay, so we have here a setup. We have to put 6 cultist monsters aside and a serpent people monster and all the Yig special encounter cards. I will be doing that. I will be making the Mythos deck for this game, and when that's done, I'll see you back again. Okay, so the Mythos deck is ready. All Yig's decks are ready. There he is, Mr. Yig, with his mystery here, the first mystery. We will be seeing what's that later. The cultists and the serpent people he wants close by his side. And we start the terrible doom track on number 10. Also, I've put the omen track on green, on the comet. And then next step in this setup is to spawn some gates and to spawn some clues and monsters on the board. So we are doing this game with 3 investigators, so we have this little reference sheet, and it tells us to spawn 1 gate, 2 clues and 2 monsters. So let's start by spawning this gate. And we have Arkham, so we put this in Arkham. And of course, immediately a monster, and we have this Lang spider, which might be okay to fight. So we will put him in Arkham as well. You can see I'm using these stands that comes with the game. As long as I have enough, I will be using this one instead of laying them down. I always think it looks nicer this way. Okay, so then we will be spawning 2 clues on the board. So let's see, this is our clue cup. We have one here, number 4, over there, and the other one in number 6, so it's all in the American region. I forgot to give Patrice a clue to start with, and she also needs a banishment spell. I will be doing that just before beginning this game. That's her clue. Okay, so almost ready to start my 16th game of this, and well, I hope you will give me the power to defeat this game, because man, he's been beating me very hard, but I love this game, and let's hope this time we will win. I see you next video for my first round of Eldritch Horror and its newest expansion, Mountains of Madness.